Tonight, we start off by taking a look at the SGA and involvement updates. Then, we'll inform you of President Roberts' future upcoming installation, as well as a new STEM and ag complex to be added to campus. We'll also take a look nationally by updating you on recovery from the recent earthquake in Turkey and a third unidentified object in North American skies. Finally, you'll get an Auburn sports update and the pet of the week. All of that and more is coming up next on Eagle Eye's Monday News at 6. Good evening and welcome to Eagle Eye News at 6. I'm Nicholas Wetzel.
And I'm Abby Payne.
You might have heard of an organization called the Oates Agency. The Oates Agency is Auburn University's student-run public relations firm. They provide students with the opportunities to work in a professional society, leading them to broader networks, stronger public relations knowledge, and career skills for the future. They recently were honored with the title of Nationally Affiliated Student-Run Firm by the Public Relations Student Society of America, or PRSSA. PRSSA only awards the honor to firms that demonstrate aligning core values with the organization, including advocacy, expertise, independence, loyalty, fairness, and free flow of information. It's even more impressive to see the Oates Agency being recognized with these qualities when you consider it will celebrate its third year on campus this spring. For more information on the Oates Agency, you can visit their website at theoatesagencyau.com and follow them at the Oates Agency on Instagram.
Now we turn to Coleman Turnipseed, the outgoing Auburn SGA Vice President, for our weekly update on what the Student Senate is working to improve on Auburn's campus. Let's take a look.
Hi everyone, my name is Coleman Turnipseed. I'm the outgoing SGA Vice President, and this Monday night was the final meeting of the Student Senate for this term. During this meeting, we passed 3 pieces of legislation. One was a bill changing the name of the Executive Director of Schools Council to the Assistant Vice President of the Executive Student Council to reflect the name change of this branch. The next was a resolution by the freshman forum mentees to ask the Office of Information Technology to consolidate all tutoring information into one central location on AU Access. And the final piece of legislation was a commendation for Auburn's campus dining team to thank them for their hard work and dedication to promoting the student experience. Monday's Senate meeting was filled with a lot of emotions as many senators said goodbye to the teams that they have been a part of and reflected on this year with a sense of gratitude. On the other side, the newly elected senators were sworn in at the end of Monday night, and excitement filled the room as they began in their new roles. I wish only the best of luck to this new Senate team, and I'm excited to watch them all grow and learn throughout this term. So this will be the final Senate recap for me this term. Thank you to everyone who watched and supported SGA throughout this year. It was such an honor to serve as the SGA Vice President, and I'm looking forward to all that the next Senate team will accomplish.
Searching for some fun campus activities for the upcoming week? Well, look no further. Involvement Ambassador Bailey Blake is here to give you the scoop on all the activities and events you can get involved with on campus.
Where you go, guys? My name is Bailey Blake, and I'm here with your involvement update. The first update I have for y'all is that this week is Ring Week. All eligible students should have gotten an email explaining the process, but if you have any questions or want to order your ring in person, feel free to stop by the SGA Rings table in the second floor lobby of the Melton Student Center. Next up is that UPC has lots of fun events planned for this week. On Tuesday the 14th, they have a Valentine's Day pop-up on Cater Lawn at 11 a.m. where they will have crafts and refreshments. On Wednesday, February 15th, they are showing the movie Bones and All in Dudley B6 at 7:30. And last but not least, on Thursday the 16th, they will be hosting a Trivia Tiger Nights event from 8 to 10 in the Melton Student Center. Application season is here. AU Involve has every single application open listed, but a few that are open right now are Involvement Ambassadors, Organizations Board, BBAMA Food Drive staff, Impact Exec, and UPC Director and Assistant Director. Check out their social media for more information. My last update for today is to be sure to check out the organization's days on Haley Concourse every Wednesday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. to stay up to date on ways you can get involved throughout the semester. And just as a reminder, AU Involve has information about everything going on around campus, so I encourage y'all to check that out for more involvement opportunities. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to an involvement ambassador at involve@auburn.edu. Thanks guys, and War Eagle.
When we return from this short break, we'll tell you all about President Roberts' upcoming installation. Then you'll hear about a new STEM and ag complex being added to campus. You're watching Eagle Eye News at 6. Last year on May 16th, Christopher Roberts began serving in the role of president. This year, on April 13th, he will be formally installed as Auburn's 21st president. Roberts has been with Auburn for some time, being the former dean of the Samuel Ginn College of Engineering since 2012. He first began his career at Auburn in 1994 as an assistant professor in the Department of Chemical Engineering, becoming department chair in 2003. Roberts has vowed to instill a campus climate in which we are welcomed, valued, respected, and engaged, and is working to generate a transformative student center experience that is the best in the nation. The installation will take place in the Jay and Susie Douge Performing Arts Center. Registration opens March 13th and tickets will be emailed the week of April 3rd. This event is open to the campus and surrounding community. To learn more about Christopher Roberts, you can visit Auburn's Office of the President website.
Auburn University is regularly providing students with opportunities to see improvements on campus and with the university itself, and that might become more obvious with Auburn soon constructing a new academic building complex that will focus on science, technology, engineering, mathematics, and agriculture. This project, known as the STEM Plus Ag Complex, has been described by Auburn President Christopher Roberts as a game changer, as it will be a massive 3-building complex covering 265,000 square feet. This complex will be able to replace older STEM and agriculture-related facilities on campus with state-of-the-art wet and dry labs, collaboration spaces, and instructional labs for numerous STEM and ag departments on campus. Moving these departments from places like Parker Hall, Beard Eves Memorial Coliseum, and Fuchs Hall will facilitate the demolition of Parker and the eventual demolition of Fuchs in the Coliseum.
Auburn's Sigma Nu chapter recently put the Auburn Creed into action in Selma, Alabama. Following the recent tornadoes across the state, Selma, Alabama was left with damage prompting the fraternity to assist in cleanup. The fraternity badge represents the helping hand, and this was obvious after they provided chainsaws, pickup trucks, wheelbarrows, and of course themselves to clean up the trees and debris left behind. The Sigma Nu Lieutenant Commander, George Turner, responded by describing how much it meant that his brothers would give up their MLK holiday to help their neighbors. He feels that it shows their heart and the Auburn spirit of human touch and compassion.
Auburn has once again celebrated a milestone, this time with the College of Human Sciences. The naming of the Horst Scholl's School of Hospitality Management took place on January 23rd at the Tony and Liberaine Culinary Science Center. Scholl's is known as the co-founder and former president of the Ritz-Carlton Hotel Company and is representative of the hard work and dedication that goes into the hospitality management profession. While he was unable to attend the ceremony, his presence in Auburn is evident after he joined the Dean's Advisory Board in the College of Human Sciences almost 30 years ago. Auburn's hospitality management program has grown increasingly during its time since it was established in 1987. In 2002, it became the academic model it is known as today and has worked to prepare students to become industry professionals with the assistance, of course, from Scholl's. For more information on the Horst Scholl School of Hospitality Management, you can visit their website at humsci.auburn.edu.
If you are looking for new ways to expand your horizons or find new experiences, then studying abroad might be an exciting opportunity for you. Auburn Outreach Global is currently offering a summer health clinic in Greece this year. This study abroad program is a joint collaboration between Auburn Outreach Global, Auburn College of Nursing, and the Auburn Harrison College of Pharmacy. Students can experience a hands-on 3 to 4 day health clinic with different humanitarian organizations, along with visiting orphanages, refugee and immigrant sites, and other cultural immersion activities. While this trip is focused on health sciences, it is of course open to all Auburn students. Service learning abroad has so many incredible benefits for learning about diverse educational structures, gaining a global perspective, to making new friends and meeting new people in different cultures. For more information on the Summer Health Clinic in Greece, contact Dr. Chris Martin at clm0001@auburn.edu and Dr. Elizabeth Kwanzaa at eid0001@auburn.edu. When we come back, we'll inform you of the recovery from the recent earthquake in Turkey and a third unidentified object in the North American skies. You're watching Eagle Eye TV, Auburn's news leader. Search and rescue efforts are now turning into recovery efforts, as crews are searching for earthquake survivors in Turkey and Syria. More than 28,000 people have been killed and tens of thousands injured after a magnitude 7.8 earthquake struck the region on Monday. Officials are calling it the area's worst natural disaster in the past century. Rescuers know they're racing against the clock, and some organizations have paused their work. CNN's Nada Bashir has more from Istanbul.
This is certainly still a race against the clock, and these remarkable, miraculous rescues that we are still seeing 6 days on from the earthquake are a reminder for so many hoping for any sign of life from their loved ones still missing beneath the rubble. But as you said there, we are beginning to see some international search and rescue teams suspending their operations temporarily due to security concerns within Turkey. We've already heard from search and rescue teams from both Germany and Austria. They say that they've had to temporarily ask their teams to return to base, though still within Turkey, until the situation is deemed safe again, with reports of clashes between different groups within Turkey. The Turkish authorities themselves have highlighted criminal activity and looting taking place in some of these areas. The Austrian team has been quite clear that their team didn't directly come under attack or face any direct risks, but simply the circumstances made their work somewhat more difficult. We are also learning from a search and rescue team which travelled into Turkey from Israel that they had received credible and verified evidence and intelligence that they may come under direct threat, and so have suspended their operations and are heading back to Israel after supporting that search and rescue effort. But at this stage, Germany and Austria have only temporarily halted their operations. But look, that search and rescue effort is still continuing, and we are still seeing these remarkable signs of life rescues taking place in southeastern Turkey. We saw one video emerging of a mother and her 18-year-old son who were rescued overnight on Saturday after being trapped beneath the rubble for 134 hours. So a remarkable rescue there, and that was actually with the help of a search and rescue team traveling all the way from Los Angeles. They are continuing to support the rescue effort, but of course there is also the difficult reality now that as the days pass by, we are of course expecting the death toll to continue to climb, and those signs of life are growing far and few between over the days.
The U.S. military shot down another high-altitude object on Sunday. According to a U.S. official, the third day in a row an unidentified object was brought down over North American airspace. Another U.S. official says the takedown of the identified object was at the direction of President Biden. Tina Kim has the latest.
Late Sunday afternoon, Michigan Congressman Jack Berman confirmed the U.S. military shot down another object over Lake Huron. That makes the third unidentified object brought down in as many days. Saturday, an American fighter jet shot down an unidentified object at an altitude of about 40,000 feet. It happened over Canadian territory in central Yukon. Both President Biden and Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau ordered the move.
An unidentified object entered unlawfully Canadian airspace. It represented a reasonable threat to civilian aircraft. Canadian and American fighter jets were scrambled, and an American F-22 successfully shot down the object. Recovery teams are on the ground.
Canada's defense minister described the object as cylindrical. Just one day earlier, an American F-22 took down an unidentified object near Dead Horse, Alaska. Reportedly, some pilots said Friday's object, quote, interfered with their sensors. Officials add the mystery objects shot down Friday and Saturday were significantly smaller than the Chinese spy balloon an F-22 brought down a week ago off the coast of South Carolina. Republicans criticized President Biden for allowing the balloon to cross the continental U.S. before taking it down. Now, some are giving Biden credit after Saturday's shoot-down.
I would prefer them to be trigger happy than to be permissive. But we're going to have to see whether or not this is just the administration trying to change headlines.
I'm Tina Kim reporting.
U.S. President Joe Biden heads to Poland later this month. The war in Ukraine is about to enter its second year. He will arrive in Poland on February 20th, 4 days before the anniversary of Russia's invasion. Biden will meet his Polish counterpart and other leaders from the region. The White House says he wants to send a message that allies will continue to stand by Ukraine against Russia. CNN's Sam Kiley has more from eastern Ukraine, where Russian forces already are ramping up their attacks.
Clearly, there's a great deal of interest in the visit of a US president to Poland to mark the anniversary on February 24th of the latest Russian invasion of Ukraine. But the reality on the ground is that the Ukrainians are grappling with another Russian offensive. Now, they believe that the much vaunted spring offensive has come early, effectively with very intensive attacks by professional military personnel from the Russian airborne divisions in Crimea, in eastern part of the country, and also renewed activity around the city, or rather town, of Bakhmut. Now, that is a town that has been very, very bloody focus of the Russian efforts, with these wave upon wave upon wave of attacks by conscripts and volunteers from the Wagner mercenary group being thrown into a battle that they're simply not going to survive, and winning ground incrementally at gigantic human cost. Now, on the ground, fighters on the Ukrainian side are saying that they're seeing more professional effort being thrown into that, and they believe if you combine that with the overnight bombardment with cruise missiles, with the Shahed drones that have been brought in by Iran, more attacks against the national infrastructure, particularly the energy infrastructure of the country, certainly the Ukrainian perspective is that the latest Russian offensive has begun. And so what they would like to hear from a Biden administration before he gets to Poland, but certainly by the time he gets to Poland, is clearance to supply them with the long-range missiles and the jets they say they so badly need to defend themselves, firstly, and secondly, to get on the front foot and rid their country of the Russian invaders. Sam Kiley, CNN in eastern Ukraine.
When we come back, we'll give you the sports update from last week with Emma Deason. You're watching Eagle Eye TV, Auburn's news leader.
Welcome back to Eagle Eye News at 6. I'm Emma Deason here with your quick fix of Auburn sports. Suni Lee does it again. Auburn's own Olympic gold medalist earned her 9th 10 of her collegiate career Friday on bars. Lee's perfect score contributed to the Tigers' 197.75 to 197.5 win over the LSU Tigers. This 197.75 marks a season high for the Orange and Blue. Men's basketball has hit a rough patch against the hardest stretch of their schedule. Bruce and the boys have now dropped 3 in a row, including a loss on Saturday to rival Alabama, who just became the #1 team in the country this morning. Next up is a home matchup tomorrow night against Missouri, and Auburn desperately needs this win. Last night was a Super Bowl, and the Kansas City Chiefs defeated the Philadelphia Eagles 38-35 with a last-second game-winning field goal. Chiefs offensive tackle Prince Wanagao was the sole former Auburn player to get a ring last night. That is all we have for you tonight, and make sure to stay up to date with all things Auburn sports by visiting our website, eagleeyeauburn.com, and by following our Twitter at EETV_sports. I'm Emma Deason, and we'll be right back.
A Super Bowl fan scores free tickets to his 57th straight big game. And 2 rough and fluffy teams go snout to snout on the gridiron. Coming up in today's Take a Look at This.
One football fan's incredible Super Bowl streak is still alive. Don Chrisman of Kennebunk, Maine, made headlines as a Super Bowl super fan who's been to every single big game since the beginning.
I still have every ticket stub and I still have every program.
Chrisman says the decades-old tradition started by accident and became habit. But this year, the streak was in jeopardy. Chrisman sold football memorabilia to fund a trip to Phoenix, but says he arrived without any tickets to the game. Then, at the last minute, thanks to a donation from Visa and Verizon, Chrisman scored once again.
We're going to send you the Super Bowl. How's that sound?
Oh my God.
All right.
A pair of gifted tickets made it official, 57 straight for this still streaking Super Bowl stalwart. Well, by now you probably know the Kansas City Chiefs are this year's champs, and if you live in New York City, you're seeing red because of it. No, not like that. It's because the Empire State Building was radiating red, celebrating the Chiefs' win from as far as the Long Island eye could see. Now let's send it over to Jim and Phil for some highlights from the big game.
Hello, fans. The game we're talking about is, of course, the 19th annual Puppy Bowl. And this year was a barn burner of a colossal canine clash. Isn't that right, Jim?
That's right, Phil. Always a furry fan favorite. The event featured 122 puppies from rescues and shelters countrywide. And this year's grueling, growling, gritty, gridiron game went to overtime for the first time ever, Phil.
Team Rough trailed Team Fluff for most of the game, but tied it up in the fourth quarter. But in the end, it was Team Fluff hoisting the Lombardi Trophy to an 87-83 victory. For Take a Look at This, I'm Phil.
I'm Jim.
And I'm Jeremy Roth.
Titanic sailed back into theaters this weekend for its 25th anniversary. Rick Demigala talked with Kate Winslet about the film's anniversary.
All right. Open your eyes.
I'm flying.
Titanic is back in theaters celebrating its 25th anniversary. Kate Winslet looks back fondly on the production.
There were so many rumors around Titanic when it was being made. You know, is it going to work? We went over our dates, which is, by the way, not unusual at all. But we did go over. And, you know, yeah, there was a lot of conversation around how huge it was, because I guess for the time, it was an unusually big film.
It turns out that Mr. Dawson is quite a fine artist. He was kind enough to show me some of his work today.
Honestly, I had all these things going in my head, like, God, you know, how lucky am I? I'm this English girl. And so when I look back on it now, you know, it was the most extraordinary experience. And I'm actually working with a couple of crew members right now who were also on Titanic, who I have not seen for a very, very long time. And there's something about having all been part of Titanic that just, it bonds you all forever, you know? Those stories that we share, oh, do you remember that day when that thing happened and when that bit broke and when Leo and I got stuck on the tilting poop deck for, like, you know, one whole night on end and we couldn't film anything because the mechanics had broken. And like, we just look back on all of that stuff with so much kind of fondness and laughter.
I'll never let go.
In Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
Our new pet of the week, Noor, has been with us for more than 325 days and is desperately looking for a home to call her own. Noor came into our care as a mom and was very stingy from giving her all to take care of her baby. Since then, her baby's been adopted and Noor is ready to find a family that will now take care of her. She's slowly gaining back her weight and is getting back to peak health. Noor could be best in a home by herself, as she wants all of the attention on herself. She's recently been heartworm treated. She's had a rough start to life and is deserving of a family that can just show her how wonderful life can truly be. She's 3 years old, spayed, vaccinated, and microchipped. Apply online for her today. We're out of time, but for more Auburn news, head over to our website, eagleeyeauburn.com, and check out our social media pages. I'm Nicholas Wetzel.
And I'm Abby Payne. Thank you for watching, and War Eagle.